Hey everyone, welcome in. Give me just a second here. I got to go live on Instagram. Why is it not allowing? There we go. Takes a couple seconds. Hopefully you can hear me. Okay. All right, everyone, welcome in. It's been a while since I've done this. We are live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So if you come in and you're in the comments, let me know where you're watching from. All right. How's everybody doing tonight? Once this shows I'm live on Facebook, which it should be now, I want to, it's a little bit delayed, so have to give it a second. There we go. I want to, if you come in, I want to share this out on my page. I want to highlight it real quick, and we'll get started. All right. So if you come in, let me know in the comments whether you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Also, if you're watching the replay, this will be on Facebook and YouTube. And I haven't quite figured out how to do the replay on Instagram, but it may be on there too. So I'll play with that a little bit later. So welcome in. I haven't done this for a while. Tonight, we're going to talk about insulin resistance, or some people call it metabolic dysfunction. So hopefully we'll get a few people in here and we'll get this going. It says we got 2. Say hi. Let me know in the comments whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. And let me know if you're using the Feel Great system. All right. So if you're new to my page, my name is Jeff. I was type 2 diabetic for 20 years. I was on all the medications. I was on 3 meds for type 2 diabetes. I had high blood pressure, stage 1 kidney failure, neuropathy in my feet, horrible. I was extremely overweight. I mean, I'm still overweight, but it's a journey, right? It's a lifestyle. I had horrible inflammation, chronic joint pain, waking up 2 or 3 times a night to go to the bathroom, all these things. I never knew about insulin resistance. And what I've found over the last 3 years is a lot of other people have never heard of it either. So what I want to share with you, I guess, is as you're looking at this screen and you look at these symptoms like this circle, wheel of torture, I call it. If any of these resonate with you, just let me know in the comments. Maybe you're dealing with sleep apnea or high blood pressure. Maybe you have inflammation or the inability to lose weight. Here's the problem. 93% of people, especially American adults, are dealing with one or more of these problems. And our body gives us signs and signals that something's going on way before it turns into heart disease or type 2 diabetes or Alzheimer's or fatty liver or whatever it may be. So if you're experiencing things like skin tags, if you have, chronic headaches, if you have cravings for sugary or salty food, the inability to lose weight, the inflammation, the joint pain, sleep apnea, even things like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, dark skin pigmentation, these are all warning signs that there's something deeper going on, right? So I'm not here to bash on medications. If you're one of those people, you do you. Medications save lives, right? And they manage symptoms. But if you think taking the medication is ever going to fix your type 2 diabetes or fix your weight problem or fix your heart disease issues like high cholesterol, high triglycerides, well, I'm sorry to tell you that the medication is not going to fix the problem. They're not designed to, right? The medication is like a Band-Aid on a symptom. It's going to manage it. So with 93% of adults struggling with one or more of these symptoms, I come to think that this is it's a lifestyle problem, right? We do it to ourselves by eating too much, too often of the wrong kind of food. And then we never do anything about it to reduce that blood sugar or insulin spike after our meals. Your blood stream is supposed to have 1 teaspoon of syrup at any given time. And that average range is 70 to 99 on your blood sugar, right? Now, the problem isn't your blood sugar going up, because that happens when we eat food, right? The problem is the blood sugar going up and staying there for a long period of time. That means your cells are no longer responding to the hormone insulin. When I first started hearing about insulin years ago, I just thought, this was before I was type 2 diabetic. When I heard the word insulin, I just thought insulin is what diabetics take, right? But it's not just a diabetic thing. You can be insulin resistant for 10 to 15 years before you ever become pre-diabetic, type 2 diabetic. Insulin resistance is the precursor to type 2 diabetes or any of these other symptoms. So when your cells stop responding to insulin, insulin's job is to carry the glucose from our bloodstream to our cells to be used as energy. So it puts some in our liver, it puts some in our fat cells, and it puts some in our muscles. And if we don't use it up, if we don't use up that glucose, then it's stored as fat or it stays in our bloodstream. Now, what happens is when you're eating constantly, like you have breakfast, then you have a mid-morning snack, and then you have lunch, and you have an afternoon snack, and then you have dinner, and you have an evening snack, or you're drinking sugary drinks, so sweet teas, coffees loaded with cream and sugar, energy drinks, sodas throughout the day, that is constantly spiking your blood sugar. And your pancreas is constantly pumping out insulin to try to bring it back down, right? So after a while, your cells become full. And there's like a little door on your cell that insulin is the key, and it opens that door on the cell to get the glucose in. But once the cells become full and there's no more room for glucose, the cell just simply doesn't open the door. And that's when we start to have all these problems. And what happens is the pancreas pumps out more and more insulin to get the blood sugar down, and then your blood sugar crashes and you feel tired, you feel hungry, so you reach for another snack or an energy drink or something to get you going, and then you're just on that roller coaster constantly. How many people have been told that high blood pressure is due to salt? If you've always been told that high blood pressure is due to too much salt, just drop salt in the comments. I'll give you a second here because I know it's delayed. Again, let me know if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram as well. So here's the thing. Salt has been blamed for decades for what sugar has done. When you become insulin resistant, it inhibits the body from making nitric oxide, and your blood vessels start to constrict. Okay? And that's what causes, just like a garden hose, right? When it starts to freeze in the winter, the pressure goes up, right? Until the hole completely closes. And then you're building back pressure. But you want that flow to be constant and steady. And if it's constricted, the pressure is going to be really high, right? And you can do that with the nozzle on the end of your hose. You know, make it smaller, the pressure goes up. Make it bigger, the pressure goes down. So it's not really a salt problem, although iodized salt is not good for you, right? Especially too much of it. But good mineral salt like Celtic salt or Redmond's real salt or something with a lot of trace minerals in it is good for you. In fact, I use it daily. In the mornings when I'm trying to hydrate, before I ever start sipping my yerba mate, I'll take a pinch of salt, put it under my tongue. Helps your cells absorb more water, helps keep you hydrated. I drink like 8 ounces of water and start my day. So don't think that salt is causing your high blood pressure. Now, if you eat a lot of iodized table salt, yes, it's not good for you. But it's an insulin problem. It's a sugar problem. It's not a salt problem. How many people deal with neuropathy? If you're dealing with neuropathy, maybe numbness or tingling or whatever in your hands or feet, your fingers, maybe it's now become pain. My neuropathy was so severe for the last 5 years that I had it or was dealing with it, that I was getting injections between my toes to deal with the neuropathy pain. It went from first being kind of like, hey, my toes feel a little numb or funny, to then from time to time they would be freezing cold, or then they would be burning hot. And then it went from the numbness, the tingling, the burning to pain. Like I had a rock in my shoe and was walking around with a rock in my shoe all day long, right at the ball of my foot. And if you ever seen anybody that has diabetic foot ulcers, most of the time it happens right in the ball of your foot. Okay. And I know several people that have dealt with those, and it's very severe. It's what leads to amputations for most diabetics, is, a foot wound that will not heal. Okay. So if you've dealt with neuropathy, let me know, because I dealt with it for about 7 years. Now I can say that my neuropathy pain is 95% gone. Most days I don't realize I have it. I've had it. Right? I'm not saying that the nerves have repaired. I'm saying the pain is no longer there. Okay. I can walk around in my bare feet now and it doesn't bother me. How many people have been on a yo-yo diet or a weight loss journey most of their life? You feel like you've lost the same 10, 15, 20 pounds 100 different times. Because what you do is you kind of deprive yourself. You go on this diet, you're counting calories, you're counting points, you're counting macros, you're weighing your food, you're doing all these things to hit a goal. And then you think you're going to be able to maintain that, right? But you didn't really learn the true lifestyle to maintain that. And you hate being deprived of the things you love. So you go back to all your old habits. And now the 15 pounds you lost turns into a 20-pound weight gain. And you're bigger than you were before you started your diet. Anybody been in that situation? Like, does any of this resonate with anyone? Maybe when you first went and got your first blood work and you were told you were pre-diabetic and your A1C was like 6.7 or something like that, right? And your doctor's like, it's not a big deal. We'll keep an eye on it, right? Change your diet. Eat. This is what they told me. Eat more times a day, more often, smaller meals, and strength train. That'll help. And the next time I went back to the doctor, my A1C was 7.3. And then I was told, we got to put you on 500 milligrams of metformin. And all of a sudden, my blood sugar started coming down a little bit. I lost a little bit of weight. And then it was like that 500 milligram, about 6 months in, that 500 milligram metformin stopped working. And I went back for another blood test, and my A1C was like 7.8. We're going to up it to 1,000 milligrams. It worked for a few months. All of a sudden, the weight I lost come back. Blood sugar numbers are going up. Go back to the doctor. Now your A1C is 8.1, but we're noticing kidney function issues. So we're going to take you off of metformin. This is what happened to me. We're going to take you off metformin and put you on Januvia. But Januvia is not as strong, and we're going to put you on it because it's easier on your kidneys. But we're going to put you on 2,000 milligrams of Januvia. I was on 2,000 milligrams of Januvia for 7-8 years. My blood sugar never really come down. I never really lost any weight. It just maintained it where it was at, right? It was keeping me from going on insulin until I finally went back, and guess what? My A1C was 9.3. And they said, the Januvia is not, we're going to put you back on metformin as well. So at that point, I was on metformin and Januvia, 2,000 milligrams each, even though I was in stage 1 kidney failure. 3 months later, I go back. It's not working. We're going to add Trulicity. 1 injection a week of Trulicity, plus the 2,000 milligrams of metformin, 2,000 milligrams of Januvia. And if this doesn't work, you're going to probably be on insulin for the rest of your life. Anybody been in this situation where you're going to the doctor and it seems like every time you go, your dosage is up, your medication is changed, or you had to get on another medication for the side effect of a different medication you've been on? That was me for 20 years. That was the situation I was in. Lisinopril for high blood pressure started at 5 milligrams, ended up at 25 milligrams. Metformin for diabetes, ended up on 3 medications for diabetes. Had low testosterone, got put on testosterone replacement, and went through the patches, the gels to the injections. Lose a little weight, gain double back. Lose a little weight, gain it back. On that roller coaster my whole life. Started to get blurry vision. Ended up having to get glasses 4 years ago. I don't wear them all the time, but it was getting pretty bad. Constant floaters and things. Neuropathy got so bad I was getting injections between my toes to deal with the pain. Kidney function was horrible. And I was on TikTok scrolling one night and I heard somebody talking about a solution for insulin resistance. And I was like, what's insulin resistance? And then they started naming off, well, do you have high blood pressure? Do you have skin tags? The inability to lose weight? Are you tired all the time? Do you have cravings? Do you have headaches? Do you have inflammation, joint pain? And I'm like, is this person reading my health chart, right? Like, how do they know? And I'm like checking everyone. Yes, that's me. And they said, would you be interested in a natural solution to help with your insulin resistance? And I was like, this can't be real. And I heard a guy say, well, in 90 days, he reversed his neuropathy pain by 95%. And I heard another guy say in 90 days, he had lost 50 some pounds. And someone else said they got off of diabetes medication in 4 months. And I was like, okay, what is this stuff? So I'm going to tell you about the stuff that I use, but I'm also going to tell you, before I show you that, how you can start to reverse these things naturally without spending any money, right? So if you're like, listen, dude, I've tried everything. I've bought every weight loss plan, diet, supplement, everything there is. Nothing works for me. That was me. I was in the same situation. In fact, at the time I ordered this, I had 2 other systems sitting up in the cupboard in my kitchen. Need a drink real quick. So if any of this resonates with you, just stick with me, okay? And if you're watching this replay, like, still put it in the comments because I check it daily. So if you're dealing with any of these symptoms on the screen, or you have skin tags, constant craving, constant fatigue, the low energy, the no drive, no willpower, just all the things, here are some things you can do. Another thing my doctor never told me, fiber is important. If you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to lower cholesterol, triglycerides, if you're trying to lower or manage blood sugar, fiber is key. But you have to get a diverse form of fiber, right? So just eating a salad every day before your meal is not going to get the job done, right? So start front loading your meals with fiber. Vegetables that grow above the ground are a great way to get more fiber, right? Avocados, great way to get more fiber. So start every meal with fiber. Fiber is very satiating. Fiber works like a scrub brush to clean out all the buildup in your colon and bad bacteria. It helps to prevent some forms of the C word, right? Fiber's great for heart health because it slows the absorption of cholesterol and fats to your bloodstream. And that's what triglycerides is blood fat, right? Which are a bigger precursor for heart attacks than actual cholesterol numbers are. Fiber is great for weight management because it's very satiating. It fills you up. It keeps you from overeating. Fiber also is great for blood sugar because it slows the absorption of glucose into your bloodstream. All right. So first thing you can do if you're not wanting to spend any more money is start getting more fiber at the beginning of your meal, more cruciferous vegetables. Okay. Use the food order method is another great way to bring your blood sugar and insulin response down after a meal. By right order, I mean start your meal with fiber, healthy proteins and healthy fats, and then put your carbohydrates if you're going to have them at the end of your meal. I still eat carbs. I'm a carb junkie, right? Now, I don't eat near as many as I used to, but try to put them at the end of your meal because the fiber, fat, and protein is going to help slow down the absorption of the glucose into your bloodstream. Plus, the fiber, fat, and protein are going to help fill you up and keep you from eating so many carbs. All right. Another thing you can do is start moving your body for 10 to 15 minutes after every meal. Now, when I say every meal, another great way is stop eating so often. Our bodies weren't designed to eat 3 to 5 times a day. Our ancestors didn't eat that much. I follow a time-based eating regimen. I skip breakfast. I typically eat lunch and dinner. All right. So if you can do time-based eating, if you can front load your meals with fiber, if you can start moving your body, use the food order method, move your body more. And I'm not saying you have to do any extreme workouts or join a CrossFit gym or do any of that. If you can and you want to, that's great. But just go for a 10-minute walk after a meal because your muscles are the largest consumer of glucose in your body. They work like a sponge. And if you activate them after a meal, they're going to put that glucose out of the bloodstream. And it's going to be used as energy. And then instead of being stored as fat, or instead of staying in your bloodstream and being diabetic. Yumi says, I'm from the Philippines and in another time zone. I have to prepare for work. I hope it's still available on replay. Yes, this will be on my page, so you can come back and watch it later today, your time, Yumi. And if you have questions, send me a message. I'd be happy to have a conversation with you. The products I talk about are available in the Philippines as well. So get with me once you get a chance to go back to my page and watch this later. Okay? So time-restricted eating, or just start cutting out your snacks, right? Cut out the sugary drinks. Food order method, fiber, protein, fats, carbs last. Move your body for 10 minutes after a meal. And if you can, do some kind of strength training 3 times a week. It could just be body weight squats. It could be calf raises. It could be just some type of body weight calisthenics. Or if you have access to weights or a gym and you can start going for a half hour 3 times a week, great. Those are all great ways to help control your blood sugar and your insulin. But here's where most people fail. That takes a lot of willpower, determination, discipline, and consistency. And when people aren't seeing results quickly, all those things start to fade, right? And they don't stick with it long term. Now, that's where our products come in. You see, if you look at that top picture, someone that's eating at a minimum of 5 times a day, you're constantly spiking your blood sugar and your insulin. And what that does is it causes fat storage and damage. If insulin is high, you will never burn fat for fuel. I don't care how many calories you count. I don't know how much you restrict yourself. If your insulin is constantly elevated, you'll never burn fat for fuel. Now, if you look at that blue band, that's like for someone who wears a continuous glucose monitor, that is the in range area. That's where you want to be, is down there in that blue zone. And that's where the two products that I talk about and use help keep me. But what they do is they make the time-based eating so much easier, because the yellow packet, which is what I'm drinking right here, I drink 2 to 3 of these a day. They help shut off the food noise. They curb the cravings. Helps give you stable energy throughout the day. Regulates blood pressure. It's also a natural insulin sensitizer, so it mimics the action of metformin without the side effects. A lot of people have side effects with metformin. Okay, so for me, anytime I'm not wanting to eat food, I'm sipping on this. Okay, so when I wake up in the morning and I'm skipping breakfast, I have my Celtic salt and, probably 8 ounces of water, and then I mix one of these and I start sipping it throughout my morning. This keeps me from reaching for the McDonald's or the Pop-Tarts or sodas, or driving through the gas station and getting, a breakfast sandwich or something. This curbs the cravings, and I'm not having low energy from having a blood sugar spike and then a crash. So I sip this throughout the morning. It's all natural. It's yerba mate. It's concentrated. It's got more chlorogenic acid in it, theobromine, antioxidants, polyphenols, vitamins, and minerals. It has everything in it you need to sustain life, actually. It tastes good. It comes in several different flavors. This is the lemon that I'm drinking here, but it's not a real lemony taste. So anytime you're trying to not have cravings or reach for food, sip the yellow packet. Okay? So I sip it in the morning and I sip it in the afternoon typically. This is my third one today. So I'm sipping it now in the evening because I don't want a snack. I just had a big ribeye steak though and some green beans, so I'm good. So you drink that twice a day. And then the orange packet that you see there is a blend of plant fibers. So we should be getting anywhere from 28 to 35 grams of fiber a day. Most of us aren't even getting half of that, right? And if you're someone who doesn't like to eat a lot of vegetables, or you don't shop at the farmer's market and you're buying all your produce at the store, that can get pretty expensive. This fiber is a blend of 7 different types of soluble and insoluble fiber. It's very easy. You mix it in 8 ounces of water. Actually, if you decide to try it, you'll get a bottle like this, and it tells you how much water for the fiber and how much for the yerba mate. But you put that water in there, you shake it up, and you chug it down 5 minutes before your meal. And it's actually equivalent to like eating a whole head of broccoli, right? Because it's 7 different types of fibers. So what that fiber does, the soluble fiber gelatizes in your stomach, and it helps fill you up, and it keeps you from overeating. But it also wraps around the food we eat, and it slows down digestion. Now, a lot of times I'll do a demonstration where I'll mix it up and I'll have like a cracker or a chip or something and show you how it coats it. I didn't do that tonight, but basically it makes like a gel matrix, and it coats the food we eat, and it slows down digestion. Now, we talked earlier about how fiber is great for blood sugar because it slows glucose absorption. It's great for heart health because it slows the absorption of fats and cholesterols. It's great for weight management because it's satiating. And it's great for colorectal health because it works as a scrub brush, cleaning out all the bad bacteria. But don't think this fiber is going to make you run to the bathroom. That's not what this does. Okay, this is not a Metamucil benefiber that is designed to make you go to the bathroom. That's not what this fiber is. Okay, so that's what these products are. Now, it costs you like $5.30 a day in the US. Okay, and I'll show you this next screen. So people buy this retail, they buy it online for close to $250 a month. But because you're on this live, if you're interested in this, hey, Luann and Arlie, thanks for hopping on. I didn't even see you two come in. Because you're on this live, I can get you the price that I pay, a preferred price of $169. Now, if you do subscription and commit to this for 90 days, you can get it for $159, which comes out to $5.30 a day. It's 2 products, right? They're all natural, plant-based. There are no drugs in them. They won't counteract with any medication. And really, they work better than most medications. Like if you look at that, at the bottom of that picture there, you know, metformin, insulin, statins, GLP-1s, crash dieting, or bariatric surgery. These are all just Band-Aids, because even though they can be good in the beginning to help get you going, if you don't learn the lifestyle, when you come off those medications, everything that you just started healing is going to come back, right? Where these are all natural, those all come with side effects, risk of some serious side effects. This stuff is all natural. There are no side effects. The only side effect that you're probably going to have from this, from healing your gut, is you're probably going to have to go buy a new wardrobe. And I'm going to show you a few people that I've helped find this and have amazing results here in a few minutes, right? So these products are all natural, plant-based food products. We have nearly 50 clinical studies now proving that this works as good as or better than medication. They're third-party tested. They're nutraceuticals. They are not pharmaceuticals. There are no drugs. They're patented. They can't be copied. They're in the physician's desk reference where all medication is listed. These 2 products that I just showed you are listed in that same book as nutraceuticals. They're HSA and FSA qualified, meaning you can use your health savings account or flexible spending account to pay for them. They've been studied at the Cleveland Clinic, UNLV, the University of Sydney, Stanford, just to name a few. It's a daily protocol. You sip one while you're trying to avoid food, and you chug the other one right before you're going to have food. Simple as that. Now, I'm going to show you a few people that have been using this protocol that saw me on social media, saw my results, and decided to give this a try. This is my buddy Ralph. I didn't know Ralph before he started this. He kept watching my videos. He watched me for about a year, and he finally decided to give it a try. Now, Ralph had neuropathy, high blood pressure, IBS, inflammation, type 2 diabetes. The gray shirt is his managed care. He was on like 11 different pills. The picture on the right is 90 days on this protocol. Down 52 pounds, reversed his type 2 diabetes, neuropathy pain's gone. In fact, this guy hikes 3 to 5 miles every day of just following what I just laid out for you. Food order, walking after meals, using these 2 products consistently. He says it totally changed his life. And you can see that it has just from the pictures. This is another friend of mine I've known for probably 30 years, maybe over 30 years now. He's always been a bigger guy, but back about 3 years ago, he was 407 pounds. He's seen my results. And at first he was hesitant because he was like, dude, I've tried everything. I've tried fasting. I can't stick with it. I've tried going to the gym. I got a personal trainer. I did all these things. Nothing ever works. In 13 months, he lost 162 pounds. No more depression, no more high blood pressure, no more anxiety. And within 6 months of using this, he was out doing things with his kids that he hadn't done in years. Totally changed his life. Here's another person, Chrissy. A friend of hers found me on Facebook and said, hey, you need to go check out this guy's page because he was diabetic and he was dealing with neuropathy. Chrissy had prediabetes. She had eczema all over her whole body. chronic inflammation, neuropathy, high blood pressure. She is now down like 90 pounds. I mean, just look at the difference. She's at the beach where she should be having fun, and she looks like she's miserable. And here you couldn't wipe the smile off her face. All she did was follow this protocol consistently to get those results. This is Michelle. This is my spouse. She didn't want to try this. She's like, I don't like tea, which we call it a tea, but it's not tea, it's mate. She's like, I can't fast. I don't want to fast. I snack all day long. But she was dealing with menopausal issues, hot flashes, night sweats, couldn't lose the fluff around the midsection, high blood pressure. She was hypoglycemic, meaning her blood sugar would crash from eating the sugar all day long. She would crash, come home from work, 4 or 5 in the afternoon, she was done. She'd be out, right? She's lost over 40 pounds, been off of blood pressure for 2 years now, almost 3 years now. No more IBS, no more menopausal symptoms, no more hot flashes, night sweats, mood swings, any of those things. She got off her hormone replacement therapy, and she's just following this protocol. I mean, just from those 4 different people I showed you, a wide variety of symptoms and issues, and have all seen amazing results of just following this protocol. If there's anybody in here right now that is using this system, and I know we don't have a lot in here, but if you're using this system, just put a short couple sentences in the comments so when people come and watch the replay, they can see the comments and see people that are having amazing results with this. If you decide to order this protocol, you can do it by clicking on this QR code. You can screenshot that. You can save it. You can go to the link in my profile on any of my social media. There is a link in my bio on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You can get my price for this. So if you do subscription, you're going to get free shipping for life. You get my coaching and mentoring. You will have my personal phone number and email address. I'm not someone that's going to ghost you. We have calls every Tuesday night with medical professionals. In fact, we have one tomorrow. If anybody watches this and you would like the link to tune into that Zoom call, reach out to me. We have Dr. Kenny Harless and Dr. Dieter Wufan on tomorrow night talking about insulin resistance and these products. But we have a call like that every Tuesday. We have a Facebook community that you can be added into. I mean, this is something that is a lot, thousands of like-minded people just trying to get healthy and help others get healthy, right? So if you knew that there was a solution for heart disease, diabetes, obesity, fatty liver, PCOS, all these things, and you could help someone, you could save someone from suffering, who would you save? Because I have seen thousands upon thousands of people now fix all those problems that we're told they're chronic and progressive. You're going to live with them for the rest of your life. But by following this protocol, they've been able, most of them, to get off of medications and have a whole new lease on life. And it's not just about the years, it's about the quality in the years, right? I want to be here for a long time, but I want to have a quality of life. I don't want to be medicated and come down with Alzheimer's and not know my kids or my grandkids. Like, that's not quality of life. So if you or someone you know is struggling with any of these symptoms we've talked about tonight, like, have them look into this protocol. It never hurts. Let them make up their own mind. But you have the information now. And if you don't share it with someone that you know and care about that's dealing with these problems, what if a few months from now they're no longer with us and you'll be thinking, maybe that system I was looking at could have helped. You don't want to be that person. This protocol is changing people's lives. It's saving lives every day. So if you want more information, if you would like to get on a call with me, if you would like a personal phone call, one-on-one, shoot me a message. Go to my profile, follow me, friend me, whatever. Send me a message. Hey, I want to learn more about this. I'll get you on the Zoom calls. I'll let you make up your own mind. I'm not here to pressure anyone. I want people that are ready to make a change. So, and if you're like-minded and you want to help other people change their life, I can help you learn how to do that as well. Jessica says, I've been on the protocol 10 months, off GERD meds after 21 years, down 65 pounds, eyesight's improved, sleeps all night long. That's amazing in itself, right, Jess? Joints feel good now, lowered my LDL cholesterol 100 points. Anxiety and depression gone. So much. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. Yeah. Dad's off of 8 meds and lost 40 pounds. Can walk now with no pain. Yeah, Jessica and her dad have both had amazing stories. And I could have pulled their photos up too, but thanks, Jess, for sharing that. So if anybody is watching this, share it with someone. Share this live. It'll be up on my page. Share this live with someone you know dealing with these issues. Let them make up their own mind, right? We're not here to pressure anyone, but we're here to support and help. This isn't something that you just buy and we tell you, good luck, hope it works for you. We're here to support you on this journey. We'll be here with you every step of the way, and we'll answer any questions you may have. And remember, tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, we have a medical professional science call that I can get you on as well. So reach out to me if you would like the link for that. Otherwise, if there's no questions, I'm going to hop off here. Michelle says, on Feel Great for 3 years, off blood pressure meds, no more IBS, down 40 pounds, and no more menopausal symptoms either. She didn't put that in there, but yeah. So if you're ready to make a change, why not try the Feel Great system? It comes with a 90-day money-back guarantee. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. All right, folks. Have a good night.